And they may sit there and think, well, I'm a Christian too. Why didn't God tell me that? But you may be further along in your walk with the Lord. They may have other obstacles that the Holy Spirit is dealing with them on. We're all in different places. We're all on the same road, but we're all not in the same spot. So I just say that just to be aware that, when you're going out, you're doing what God's told you to do. You get that word from the Lord and you're moving forward in that direction. You're believing things. You're seeing things happen supernaturally, that the Lord's answering prayers. Just know that you're going to get some flack. You're going to get some mean comments. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's from the brethren and it comes from the church. We saw here from the Pharisees. Of course, Jesus was a Jew. The Pharisees were Jews. They were leaders in the synagogue. And they were some of his worst critics, complainers, and the ones that tried to go after him the most. So just always keep that in mind. When God tells you to do something, doesn't matter what people think, your goal here is to please God, not people. All right, verse 35. Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in the synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and they were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. So we see Jesus is busy. He's going from community to community. He's going from synagogue to synagogue. He's preaching. Every time he meets somebody with a need, he's meeting the need, whether it be sickness, disease. Jesus is busy about helping people. Just the way we should be as Christians. We should follow Jesus' example. We should be helping. We should be meeting people's needs. We should be, sharing burdens with one another. We should be busy about helping people. The world don't care about one another. It's all about me, 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 me. The world needs to see something different. What was different about Jesus? He was busy about helping people that he met that had needs. Verse 36 says that when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion. How about you? Do you have compassion today for your fellow man? Earlier I mentioned sometimes that as Christians we do things. Do we move with compassion? What is our reasoning for doing things? A lot of times, even as preachers, we fail it's about me. When we go back to verse 30, when Jesus told the former blind man, they said, "See that no man know it." A lot of times, pride, ourself, we get in the way. It's not about us, it's all about the Lord. Doesn't matter what Jeffrey does, but it matters what Jesus does. So we have to remember, are we doing it for the right reasons? Are we doing it because we want to be famous? Do we want our 15 minutes on TV, so to speak? Are we doing it out of the right reasons? Are we doing it because we have compassion on one another? See, Jesus saw the multitudes and he was moved with compassion, because they fainted and they were scattered abroad as a sheep having no shepherd. Verse 36 in a lot of ways applies in 2020 just as much as it did back in Jesus' day. I truly believe that there are a lot of Christians out there that have truly repented. They've asked Jesus to come into their hearts and are born again, but then somewhere along the way they got derailed and they don't come to church. They're not a practicing Christian, so to speak. They're out there. They're his people, but they're just kind of scattered abroad. They don't come. They don't congregate together at church on Sundays. They don't try to watch online. Something has happened somewhere along the way, and they've dispersed. They're not together in a group. Iron sharpeneth iron, but if you're not together with another believer, you can't sharpen one another. I believe that's where we are in a lot of ways in 2020. We've been scattered. Even before the pandemic and everything, we've had a lot of people, especially here in the Bible, they got the stabbed in the back, so to speak, or something happened, or maybe they prayed a prayer and they didn't feel like it got answered or didn't get answered the way they wanted it to, and they just kind of gave up on Jesus. They're still his sheep and they're still here on earth, but they're just kind of out there. There's no shepherd. There's nobody guiding them. There's nobody there to pick them up. There's nobody there to comfort them on a bad day. There's nobody to bring them back into the fold. If you remember the story of the 100 sheep, and 99 stayed in the fold and the one got lost.